Check, check. Alright. Okay, seems like everything is more or less working. Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let's proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian. On Earth? I didn't expect to see Familiar running around. The Archaeon Custodian. Archaeon? Hmm. Greetings, we're here to peruse the Archaeon's vaults. Also, I just realized that, like, aside from Krell, we all have got white hair. Peruse, you are clearly not gleaners. Might I ask your affiliation? Belong to the students of Baldessian, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public. Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At the present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter. Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that? That service has also been suspended, I'm afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory. What, so this is as far as we can go? I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded. By that time it will be too late, and we are so close to getting answers. We need to rethink our approach. Let us step aside for the moment, shall we? Students of Baldessian. Seems like the staff here is on to our little charade. The forum must be wary of exposure indeed, to so heavily restrict the use of public institutions. If they're going to close off facilities, then they ought to announce it. Students must be furious. Labyrinthos is constructed in the shape of a mortar. This upper layer is called the outer circuit, and the medial circuit lies one tier below us. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. 'Tis likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring, in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let's ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Hello, Bolthammer. How are you doing today? You're doing excellent. Now that's fantastic to hear. Might you share in what's putting you in such a jovial mood today? I'm doing quite alright myself. It's been a bit of a long day. I got a few good grades now. Now that's fantastic to hear. Well done. Your effort has certainly paid off. From history and I don't know how to say it. Social studies, social sciences, could be anything. I'm not too sure what exactly you got good grades in. Are these subjects that you are particularly fond of? English and a bit of math. Oh, good for you. I've been average at best at math. It's good to hear that you are getting good grades in that. See, what does the bone-weary worker have to say? What's that? Take you down the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. Am I taking a lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archaeon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it is wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oh. Oddest little squirrel, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archaeon is open again. Oh. Hey, look, it's Erenville. Quiet, you will frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. Cloudkin, I need to capture its close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green, and its cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. No. Okie dokie then. Looks like I'm hunting some birds. A hornbill? Large red bird. It's probably that one. Green bird, which caws, so it's that one. Ah. I just shot the bird. Go ahead and play some Dragon Age Origins. Your brother's good at Dragon Age.
A fair shot.
Alright, well, you have fun playing Dragon Age. And I'll be here playing Final Fantasy. Yeah, you have a good time? Thanks for stopping by.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
Be here, you can pause the game. Alright, well, I mean, you don't have to pause this to watch. You can just have it a little, minimize the background somewhere. I don't mind.
There you are. Any new revelations?
Oh, thank you for the hydrate anyway.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth.
Sounds dodgy.
Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will of course follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
Yeah, it's a lovely expression.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Enville's a nice
Turning
chap.
back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Right then, cross the bridge into the mine shaft. In the meantime, I could probably take a look if there's an ether current nearby. Southwest. That's no good. It's all the way down there, and I do not fancy a climb back up here. Why is a bird picking a fight with me? I do not know. Okay, I wonder how's still rank 9. And skill points to spend? Nope. Absolutely not. I took a quick peek inside, but it's awfully dark in there. The medial circuit, which Ironville mentioned, is the tier directly below us. Unlike the lowest level of Labyrinthos, with its rigid security, one can usually roam the middle layer quite freely. Let's see what we might find. I never would have noticed this cave on my own. Thank the scholar that Ironville knew of it, and that you were there to persuade him to share. This must be it, the entrance to the mineshaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures home there by the researchers, you think? Well, slithering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Man-made though it may be, this shaft was designed to resemble a natural cave system. Heed Aaronville's warning and do step carefully. Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. Okie dokie. Oh. Mithril caps. What the hell are these? Sentient mushroom? Spider mushrooms? Oh, that is awful to look at. Noble mithril cap. Alright, come on, Ben. How on earth this naturally evolved, I will never know. Mushroom frog. Crooked? I don't know. Probably get rid of all this stuff in my inventory at some point. Reardon. Alright. Oh no, it's not so much of a climb and more of a hike. Hey, we're in a medial circuit. My shelf was infested with mithril caps. Some sort of research project, I wonder. I suppose they are a most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle about in narrow tunnels? My question exactly, Shola. Sylvaen, did you know Kral almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. I was being careful, I swear. The slope was steeper than I thought, and I lost my footing for a moment. That's all. I'm not injured, if you don't count my pride. Oh, that's good to hear. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident, nothing of consequence at least. And, as promised, Tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Aaronville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. My memories of this place are a touch hazy, but if we keep to the path heading north, then we should eventually arrive at a farm of some kind. Genomoss. Right, the site is it? Stray, tomato, egg, corgan. Sentient plants? Let me head up north first and grab an ether current. Okay, why am I sprinting? Northwest. Yonder on that cliff, I suppose. But how? Probably a path across from there. Alright, I'll play the game. Grapes! Aha, I know where we are. This is the Mariel Agronomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allow us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of the research go to feed the Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. Foods so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name. Only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. Sounds horrible. I see no gleaners hereabouts. Yet these workers seem to share the same sense of urgency. It is possible they know something of the forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking to, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful clues. Right, let me try heading up that hill over there. Let's see if I can. Access the ether currents. Somewhere here, I'm guessing. North. East. Oh, there it is. Down there. southeast. Took a moment to survey the surrounding area. There are several other facilities nearby we can investigate if we fail to learn aught of value here. Harried Harvester. Let's take a look at those grapes, shall we? Lovely. They don't look like crystal grapes anymore. Kind of unfortunate, honestly. Those looked goofy. Yeah, I love them. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled, a region in the south of Ilsebard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for a myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swaths of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. It used to be called Corvus before the Imperials named it Locus Aemonis. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. Since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. What interest do they have in Garlean territory, though? And you spend years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques. Looking at cabbage, potato, melon. A field full of ripe vegetables being left to rot on the vine, without a single picker hard at work. Clearly procuring readily available fresh food is not the farm's priority. I'm told this cart holds the harvest meant for the larders here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, it's not often you meet someone here who so obviously doesn't belong. Can I help you with something? Tell me about yourself. For now, at least, I am the second most important person in this facility. Now, you may think I am shirking my duties, but even at this very moment, I am envisioning how we can improve our methods. Gazing upon this mill calms my heart and clears my mind of unnecessary thoughts, leaving room only for brilliant ideas. Even so, inspiration takes time, and today it seems to be slower in the coming than usual. Alright. Mariel Agronomics is where the finest agricultural minds gather to research plant specimens from around the realm and the methods by which to cultivate them. Plants grown here are also used to feed the people working in Labyrinthos, straight from fields to their tables, fresh as fresh can be. What the hell was the sound? Oh, it's you. Overwhelmed laborer. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of the stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport. Hence a stack of crates atop the hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half. Hill? Huh. Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with the use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? Would you believe me if I said I just jumped down via the waterfall? Your mine shaft, you say? Oh, you're much hardier soul than I. Under no circumstances I reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the forum has us filling order lists a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seed we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? Pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. But not the most satisfying answer. Yeah. Certainly keeping things under wrap, it seems. Investigate top of the hill, and I'm now being harassed by sentient vegetables. Oh, that's some big AoEs. Dang. I got some stacked boxes here. The labels on these crates tell the story of the contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings accompanied by sheaves of reports. Flower.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Sharlayan at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
And I to you.
Have you learned aught of interest?
I learned about a pretty flower here.
A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we've failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the Archaean? Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
Flower.
Cryo?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
No, I wonder whether that's foreshadowing of any kind. Now that's an expensive die. Let's get after him already. We've waited too long as it is. Feels wrong to spy on Erenville, helpful as he's been, but what other choice do we have? Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Erenville, weren't we? We were indeed. Show up. Is Kralf still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. Cannot let our quarry slip away. Did you see which way Erenville went? Erenville was headed westwards on the path outside the Archaean. Come, we can still catch him. A bunch of nerds taking a long way around. Southwest. Southwest. Probably under the tower here somewhere. Around the back. Ether current, are you there? There you are. You might not believe me, but we actually, where I live, we actually do have a structure similar to what Labyrinth Plus is like. On a much smaller scale, of course, but very similar all the same. We call it the Jewel. Hey, welcome back, Bolthammer. How fares your adventure? I can still hear it. We've fallen too far behind, and this damn mist won't help matters. It seems you still wish to have a word with us. Orzammar? It's led you to the Dwarven Kingdom, right? Hold a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is the Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If I were an agent of the forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Erenville in the company of said agents, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads, oh no! Goodness. Oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this. Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not, they'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erenville. If you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I'll refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you would be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form you are essentially defenseless. Oh gee, I wonder whose fault is the value stolen. If changed into a toad, you must remain transfigured in order to progress with the quest objectives. You will return to your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak with Stola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. Ribbit. Alpha Toad. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Keep them aside in order to proceed with the quest objectives. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area, including twice distance already. I would have enjoyed being a toad for a while, or a little while, if only for the change of pace. But Stola is right, I am too preoccupied with other matters. Oh no, she's missing out. Oh, that's big toad. I'm sure nobody will notice three frogs just hopping along in formation. I don't know what I expected.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Greater good. Yeah. Anyone else watched Hot Fuzz?
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart.
Rock
Which
Whisperer.
is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Charlotte and Steve Irwin. Her performance needs work, apparently. I have to pay more attention the next time I see one. I suppose we should have known that a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty form agent mentioned. Charlian has been called to action, and the Telephoroid's declaration was a catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eos's request for aid. We happened to cross paths with Erenvale again. I should like to thank him properly. Alzay, staring off in the direction of Erenville, departed. In the direction Erenville departed, a thoughtful look on her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the Gleaners will offer any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing by pressing them further. We should head back to Stola and prowl for a moment, see what they think of this. OMG, is that highly acclaimed game Final Fantasy? It is indeed the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV, with award-winning expansion Heavensward. However, it now no longer comes with unlimited playtime and a free trial up to level 60, because servers are full. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How are you doing? How's school? Yeah, school's alright. Still doing homework at this hour. Oh no. Yeah, it's homework certainly takes a lot of effort. I know it very well. But progress is going alright, it's not too rough. But it's definitely one of those things that you can't really slack off on. procrastinate, and all the time will be gone in a blink of an eye. And then you gotta pull all-nighters. That's not good. Also, considering how much I've been running around reading dialogue, it's more of a visual novel rather than an MMORPG. Is my class back to face classes yet? How's it called back? Yes, I am aware who you are. Yeah. Since the beginning of this week, actually, we've been back to face-to-face classes. I didn't go back because you just got your booster jab. Oh, yeah, it must have been quite unpleasant. Hopefully you were able to attend online classes at least. Today okay already, so you're going back tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's Friday tomorrow. Where's Kral? It's funny how normal the forest seems now. As told, it was all so much more ominous and threatening. Well, you didn't have to encounter any large bison at least. But yeah, I mean, it's not too bad at least. I find it's a lot easier to focus in class. The only downside is that it takes me like what, 50 minutes or so? Yeah, 50 minutes to just travel there. It's quite far away. More conducive, but shorter working time. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then. Yeah, I mean, it's pros and cons. I don't mind. At least getting to see your classmates in person is kind of a nice touch. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kral, then discuss how we like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return there. I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Alright, now looking for lost child. Oh dang, his hornet's got 2 stingers. Yes, I have now defeated the sentient tomato. Oh dearie me. My sweetest shackles. One of the Archaeon's precious samples has fled. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I'm Noelle Tia, an archivist. Archaeon is home to various samples collected from all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young troll, to be specific. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Listen, I promise to compensate you, so could you please help me retrieve the specimen? Yep, sure. My thanks. I will continue my search of this area. I'd like you to check the 33rd facet. Once you've had a comprehensive look about, please meet me at the Archaeon to report your findings. There's Krell.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Heidel.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. and another who may yet have a part to play. Though that will depend on you. Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong!
Uh-oh.
Master Fortuno? What business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Grah! But why?
Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
Ooh, that is some nice sound design.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
So I think this is the first time I've ever seen Kral's hair. Welcome to the stream, Panzer Sniffer. How are you doing?
Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, hmm? By their own admission, these scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Ooh, Skolok Monteshane, MVP.
We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, Scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
A bit of a tense moment there. I have a goth for Skolok Monteshane. I absolutely loathe arguing in circles. My father may be right, that I am still groping in the dark for answers. But I need him to know that I would not ever stop searching. I owe that much to Ironval and myself. You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whensoever the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of the science, and I know my grandfather would have as well. I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read as I left the restricted section, and knocked over the security bandit on my way out. Promise to be more vigilant next time. Oh, come on, man. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations might not have been vain. We now know that this mysterious duty is affairs begin with whatever the forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Charlene. We shall have to think very carefully about how to proceed from here. Alizé has a look of dissatisfaction. The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may, his father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family. Alphino? Alizé? It is you. When I heard you'd been dragged before the forum, I came swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother? Emilian's Levier, at your service. And you, fine people, must be the scions of the seventh dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you were here. Oh, bother that. Am I to be chastised for speaking of my own children? I'm well aware of what you and Master Fochino are. Not on the best terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have guests waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We'll be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Sylvaen, what do you think? Sylvaen? Sylvaen Demonbane? Okay. Hearing that from somebody else still feels kind of weird. Why yes, it is I, the Demonbane. What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Ah, but we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Sylvaen, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. Will do. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed. The matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I'm sure Alphino thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates over all the time. But I wasn't the most... It was a difficult time for me, alright? Oh yes, I'm very very reminiscent of your 2.0 personality. I apologize, my mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am glad, relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Sylvaen? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Certainly. Let's give Elzay a push, then, and be on our way. Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everybody has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away, childhood toys. I mean, never mind. Levier Estate is that way. Straight downstairs. Come on. Levier Estate is in the northern part of Journey's End, just downstairs from the rostra. Oh, and please don't make a fuss when you get there. It's only a house. Yep, only a house, but it's clearly that massive building right there, isn't it? After all that we've been through together, it's strange to be here with you now. To come full circle and see how much has changed. Levier Estate is in North Padres and... Okay. Oh, same dialogue as earlier. Yep. I actually really like the look of this estate. It's very nice. And here you are at last. Please do come in. Oh man, those are some huge doors.
Welcome home, my lady.
Is this an anime?
What? What are you gawping at?
Your house. Just admiring the craftsmanship. And truly, the architecture is amazing.
I suppose I never gave the decor much thought. I'm glad that you approve, I think.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Oh no.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder how often do I have to, like, rotate my upper torso just to look at people with these massive pauldrons in a way.
I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
Alright, so what I'm getting, or what I'm hearing, is that the Levier twins, the mother of the Levier twins, is basically bankrolling the Scions. Amazing.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
How sweet of him.
"'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits."
Hey, Mean Gomiko. Welcome. Fairly late at this hour, but I shan't judge your sleeping habits. Welcome, welcome. How deep am I into the MSQ? Well, you can kind of see right here. I think I might just be concluding the first investigation bit in Charlian. I have not traveled with Fankrit's group to Ratzahan yet. So, fairly early into the story.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect.
High heels.
Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Imagine if Alphino shows up in the exact same outfit, but just colored in blue. He's wearing like a one-piece jumpsuit.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
What might that be?
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
You know, it never did cross my mind up to this point, right, that the Leviers are loaded. Considering that, you know, Archon Lucifer was, like, their grandfather was, like, such a prominent figure. I thought, yeah, maybe they probably might be afforded some luxuries, but it never really clicked, like, how filthy rich they are. They might as well just be the richest in Charlotte.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
Is that Mahjong Tao? It could be. Like, even like the stage job icon kind of resembles like 4.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words.
You're suggesting we should just beat him up. But that I can do.
Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
So we beat him up. Easy.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
Hey, look, Alphino's stage now. Just like me. That was that. Only the gods know when we'll be back again. Thank you for indulging mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her. And I shall restrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice. As will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions. Same thing as before. As curious as I am to learn the truth of this duty, I wonder what else the Forum is hiding. A calamitous secret whose origins lie in the ethereal sea. Duplicity aside, however, I do not believe Master Foshino means us ill. Even the harsh word he had for his children stemmed not from anger, I think, but desperation. Don't think for a moment that I'm jealous of Alphinaud's new weapons. They're far more suited for him than me. We left for Eorzea in matching outfits, but our styles, both fashion and fighting, have long since diverged. If anything, I'm proud of the differences between us. If I intend to master these sage's armaments, that will mean learning to imbue them with the same ether that I pour into Moonstone and Obsidian. It's difficult to grasp the essence of such an entity. For me, it will help to think of the Nolus as allies in battles. Simply a new form of energy which went into manifesting my carbuncle companions. For us to feel responsible for the schism of House Levier would be pure hubris. After all, we are merely on the outskirts of what is, essentially, a family affair. And yet neither can we claim the indifference of strangers. To hear the mother welcome them so warmly was a joy, and a relief. Enjoy your time with Leviers, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but the new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day, with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret that the Forum strives to hide. And the flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation in Thavnair, we will be well equipped to plot our next move. It's wonderful how a garment given in love can so easily change one's whole outlook. I remember when I was still coming to terms with my talent in Viaco. Just being wrapped in a robe my grandfather gave me somehow made everything less daunting. So I was back to Thavnair. Had I known earlier, I would have considered a more suitable attire. Though I have read much on the subject of Razat-Han, this visit shall be my first. It will be interesting to see how the Hanish men mean to contend with the tower, different as their magical and technological disciplines are. Pancrate Z set forth for Thavnair. I have Krau's instructions in hand. If you are ready set up, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte. what of the rest of you? Never sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Carl was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest. I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou wilt recall in the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbreeder. Moonbreeder was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone and seen them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no is your choice, and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. You are kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath been long overdue. If it's so, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kit. Kit. Alright, I think we'll probably just get to the Aetheryte at Radzahan and then call it a day. Oh, it's just north of the annex. Okay. It's this building right here. Well now, this is rather a lot of student faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Karl, of the students of Baldessian. We seek passage to Favner, and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome. Hold on, test subjects? Test subjects? Oh, you hadn't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So, in order to travel to an Aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurtling through the livestream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of Aetheryte teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there was a way to travel to an Aetheryte without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of Aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. Truly? that changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these Aetherites, but the Aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that of our first test pair of Aetherites, one has been installed here at Charlene, and the other over at Yelimat, a port town in Tvavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Radzahan, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of the alchemists. To sum up, we are to test these Aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these Aetherites were made for people like your good self. But magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most of people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the livestream, in the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mr. Skrull truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, are Master Wolfson and Mistress Blawida not a person today? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. Actually, I'm gonna switch to Samurai. A Rim Mage, actually. Samurai it is. In case you're wondering, the Aetherites still functions like a normal one. It's just been upgraded to allow unattuned travel. I'll see you there shortly. Right, but before that, I am gonna head into... we're gonna head into Annex, adjust my glamour plates a little bit. But we're ready to go. What's my inventory's nearly full? Oh no. Glamour dresser. Edit glamour plates. Samurai. Katana all around. Oh, I actually have two of these. Dye this blue. Suppose any of these pens will actually match. Do I have brown? Orchard brown. Yeah, probably I don't actually need a headgear. However, earrings. Yeah, I think these are a bit out of the way. Only this had sleeves. All then. Alright, now I'm motivated. Actually, considering how that I have one aetheryte to grab, I'm going to do just that. Singing? I shall teleport the tried and trusted way. Good luck. It's just like in the abandoned like that. Given my experience of teleportation, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations, but I will trust it, Kryle. The words unsaid yet weigh heavy on my heart. I shall devote mine all to our task in Tavnir.
Right, we're all set. Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects.
I'm sure you would.
Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travelers could line up here, please. Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
Excuse me?
What?
I guess it's more of a problem for Thancred than it is for the rest of us.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time.
Oh hey, I'm back here in one piece.
Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
Welcome to Ilseburn, Thavnir.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
Thanks, Estanian.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions.
What might that be?
Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
Oh no. You managed to will yourself to your feet. But given condition, will you be able to reach Estinian in time? Oh boy. Either, I need 3 runes, something that helps with ether sickness. By the Minutia, a traveler. Greetings! Greetings and welcome! You're wise, good sir, to come to me. My special Amra Lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of warm welcome to Thavnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. For not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. Price is high road robbery, and you want to say as much as Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out will be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and use gestures deny that the deal is fair. Absolutely not. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me. I'm not sure whether if swindling the Azure Dragoon is a good idea. Sincerest apologies, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,890 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. The confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well, then. Your coin. Here, a bottle for you, each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I explore the town. Let's see. High Durim gear. Now let's take a look at it. How the armor looks like. Oh. Right, okay. Not too pretty. And these are some nice pants though. Made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, this amber flavor lassi is boasted to settle unruly stomachs. Praise P to the 12. My stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and Estinian, and to the fine roots of this land. You were in time? Excellent. You spared us the Taurus rep. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassi truly worked wonders. Back in your feet, I see. Via hair. I have bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against this heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man says it's a Thavnaren weave, tough and not so easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil. A steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. Oh no, Stinian. That's incredible. I dare say not even Elfin could hold a candle to you. Are all Hunnish merchants so unscrupulous? One mustn't be too quick to paint a diverse people with a single brush. If such doth prove to be commonplace, I would presume it's symptomatic of societal instability. Claiming Thavnare as its dominion, the nation of Radzahan hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the... oh man. I nearly slipped up into the beginning meme. In the beginning, there were Yarka Sodara, a Matanga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of the Hunnish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over. Development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All this hath combined to make a trading power of Radzahan. Yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that the merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, the opportunistic pricing is rampant, doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, it would be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, aye, if not to lose by learning more. So ere we seek out Krell's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yellowmart? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Be assured that I am quite recovered. Lassie is truly a boon for unruly stomachs. Is it truly so amusing to see my hair bound? 'Tis how I used to wear it. A functional fashion. Perhaps you were confused by how you found me following Nidhogg's demise. It had fallen loose after the Carogians removed me from my armor and put me to bed. I simply decided to leave it that way for a time, seeing as I would not don the Azure Dragon's helm again. Alright. Well, that's it. This is a pretty good stopping point. Not sure when I'll stream next. Perhaps Saturday night. Yeah, perhaps Saturday night. Alright then. Thank you all for stopping by. I'll see you all next time. Once again, my name is Sylvaen Demonbane, and may the moon guide your path.